Good morning, Paul. How are you doing?
Hi, Emilio. I'm doing really well, thanks. How are you
Uh,
in Dublin?
Very good. We are having a bit of a rain, but I think this is the summer where we are gonna have the Guinness records of rain. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's a,
Same here
yeah,
in London.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, thanks for very much for coming over once more here on the call. And today we are gonna do a very small introduction about a topic that just you keep always mention me on the background by emails or Skype. You know that something that's running your head and you really want to speak out and get it out of your chest. Is it that right?
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Very good, Paul.
I work with a lot of organisations, helping them through change, and I'm having discussions at the moment with my network on other people that are helping organisations with change, and we often get asked to help with an organisation. They look at our profile and say, "Oh, hang on, Paul. You haven't worked in, I don't know, banking, or you haven't worked in the public sector, and it's so important that you know our business." And for me, it seems a little bit crazy. Why would I want to know? It's useful to know a bit about the business, and I always do a lot of research around a
Mhm.
client, but why would I particularly want to know about your business when your business isn't really working very well? You've asked me to come in and help you change it for the better, so I don't really want to know how it works now. What I want to do is come and help you figure out what is working in your organization,
Mhm.
and then help you do that better and look for some new things that would create some even better wins for you and make your organization much more effective and help you with your customer service typically because especially at the moment if you're a bank nobody trusts you so why, why would you want if people from the outside were looking in and saying, well, Mr. Bank, get some help from somebody. Why would they want you to go and get someone who already knows about banks and the way they don't do things very well? So, the question that I put to you is, you know, why, if you're going to help an organisation, why would you
Yeah.
actually need to understand that organisation well?
So yeah, I think it's a very good point, and that's something that sometimes we talk that it's in coaching as well. It's important to know the good things that have been working before and where you're gonna go. And you were saying that if something is not working, we don't really need to know why it's working because, like, then probably indirectly you just go there without realizing. So you want to just reinforce that it's important to know the starting point and move forward. So how uh, what would you tell to the the persons that need to take the decision of hiring some expert that why it's your for example why you don't need to know
Yeah, I mean,
everything about a
what
company.
I say to them is, well, I'm a specialist in change. I'm not a specialist in banks or a specialist in the public sector. I'm just a specialist that I've experience in helping lots of people change for the better. And I always say do research on the company that I'm going to work with so I understand a bit about them and who their customers are. In fact, I'm more interested in their customers and what the service they provide because I look
Hmm.
at it from a completely different angle.
Hmm.
And if I came, say it was a bank, if I'm coming into a banking environment, I would want to know what the bank is supposed to be providing for their customers. So I would look at it from a completely from that customer viewpoint, and I
Okay.
wouldn't be interested in what the bank does at the moment. I would be interested in what they could be doing and should be doing maybe to help those customers receive the service that they should receive. So what I would say to those people making decisions is think again about, you may think you need somebody who understands the bank. You have hundreds of people in your bank that understand the bank, but they don't maybe understand how to get it out of the mess it's in. What you do need is somebody who knows how to help you get into a new place.
Hmm.
So what I would say to my peers, other change managers, other specialists who help organisations, is to encourage these conversations around whether or not you need to have experience in the sector. Interesting enough, I was having a conversation with a lady from Australia who's recently come to the UK, and she's never had this experience in Australia where you needed to know the organisation and how they operated. And she's found it a bit strange that she's not being considered for roles when she's a change specialist. Just because she hasn't worked in that environment.
Yeah.
Every organisation I've worked with, I didn't know much about before I started with them. Every person I coach, I do a lot of coaching, I didn't know much about them. I'm more interested in observing them, understanding what they want to achieve, than diving and delving and getting deep into what's going wrong with them, because I could spend all day doing that, but it wouldn't help them get into a new place. What I'm looking for is the things in an individual or the organisation that are already working right. They're already giving great customer service. They're already providing the service that that organisation needs to provide. They're already getting good results. So I'm looking for those things and building on those. And then I'm helping them think about what else might get them those kind of results. So what else could they be doing? What could be their focus rather than where their focus is now? And until they understand and get clarity around what that focus should be, only then will I think to work with them to figure out, okay, so if we want to get those results, what do we need to put in place? What have we already got in place that's working, so we can build on that? And what else do we need to put in place? And with an organisation, it may be then around, okay, so these need to be their new targets. How do we reach those targets? We need to put in processes to help us easily get to those targets. And then once we've figured out what those processes need to be, we then think about what kind of skills do we need to have of the people to make those processes work in a good way. And only then do I think about bringing the people in around those processes. And it may be that a lot of the people skills, or the skills that the people have currently, are no longer valid. It may be that they need to learn new things. It may be some of those people have got the wrong attitude. It may be a whole host of things, but it won't be necessary for me to go in and understand loads and loads about what they do now, because there's only 24 hours in a day. They're paying me good money to help them, and I want to help them in the fastest way I can. So I'm looking to understand their current values and beliefs around what they do, and how they might need to change some of those things. People talk about culture too, the culture of an organisation.
Yeah.
For me, culture is each person can bring something to the culture of an organisation, and mostly the leaders. People look to the leaders to observe and follow and take them as an example. If the leaders don't believe or don't understand what they really need to do, and they can't articulate it to the rest of the organisation, and they can't actually lead the organisation, then the organisation is not going to win in what they want to do. So for me, it's key for me to work with those leaders in the organisation to make sure they're comfortable, happy, and focused on what they need to do. And sometimes I've worked with organisations where the top management team, several of them just weren't lined up to that, and they were actually stifling the rest of the people in the organisation because they were being led in the wrong way. So for me, just to summarise, for me it's really important that I'm a good change specialist. It's not important that I'm for instance, a banking specialist. There are plenty of those. I don't need to be those.
Makes a lot of sense, Paul. I think that set up like the structure maybe to have an initial idea of why the managers and leaders of companies should look for a specialist, people who know how to deal with people and how to look for the good things that they are happening, and give some innovation. That's somehow what probably you're telling there, that it's not about knowing how the company works. Probably they know more than anyone else. So they just need to know someone who can connect they themselves, that they know and understand the company with with their customers, and linking them together to move forward, or other people in the company. So I think that's a very good topic, Paul, and I think these short 10 minutes videos will make some people interested to know exactly what on the future you're gonna be talking, because as far as I know, this is only the first one, and it's just to set up the space to know who you are, what's your experience, and how are you thinking, more or less. That's
Absolutely,
good.
absolutely, Emilio. And it's just really to give a taster of what I might talk about, and we can discuss in forthcoming sessions like this, because there, I have a lot of tools and techniques to share about how to go about this. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to chatting with you on the next one.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Paul, and have a great day.
Thanks, Emilio. Cheers
Bye
now.
bye.
Bye bye all.